I'm back. I know you missed me. I missed you too, low key. So, what you trying to do after this? Tight shit. You know what I mean? Anyways, what's up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? So, first off, I gotta say thank you to all my supporters on OnlyFans as well as Instagram Premium or Platinum Premium, whatever. I'd like to say I appreciate you guys' support. That's first off. So, I have realized that, I talked about this with my paid supporters, and I got some good feedback from them, so I was like, okay, might as well go post on YouTube, you feel me? But a lot of you guys don't really know me personally, and I feel like I should make a video on that. So I used to have a video named My Beginning, and that was archived and that was posted to my journal entries, which was on my OnlyFans account. So if you guys didn't see that, then I don't know what to say. Let's go ahead and start with chapter 1. So who am I? My name is, or I'm gonna put it as, my name is Cooper Evans. So how did I get into YouTube? Where did I start off? What's my background? Where did I So I was originally born in, or wait, hold up. Why would I even tell y'all that? Nah, let me not doc. So I was born in Chattanooga. I have some origin from the Bahamas. So if I have a little bit of accent, that's where it came from. But I was mostly raised in a mostly white neighborhood, which was in Johnson City, Tennessee. So it's a little country down there, but I don't know, I haven't been there since so many years, whatever. So I was raised with my mom and basically my sister and my cousin, whatever. And we were there for, I think, about like 4 years. I'm gonna give you guys the short version of all this because it's a lot. We were raised there for about 4 years, bada bing. Then I moved to my father's house, which is in Chattanooga. So I was raised in Chattanooga for a bit as well. So we went from Chattanooga for like 1 year, less than 1 year, I think. 1 year, Johnson City for 4 years. So now I'm in about elementary school. I went to Chattanooga for elementary. I forgot the name of the school. I don't really want to dox too much, but I went to Chattanooga for a bit. And then I transferred back in middle school to Johnson City. Now, this is when my character development, I guess, began. Because I was in a school where I was the only black kid for a while. So if you guys know me personally, a lot of people call me a white black guy. I don't even know what that means, but I've been called that since day one. So I'm so used to it now that, hey, I like wearing polos and khakis. I don't know what to say. I don't like Jordans, gang. So that's why I'm trying to sell my black hat. So if you guys want to buy those, go ahead, hit me up, you feel me. But we're gonna go back to Johnson City, and I was the only black kid there for, I believe, I went to that school for 2 years. Then I transferred back. So I'm around the ages of like 10, I think. 10, 11, I don't know. I'm not keeping up with the ages in my head. It's, like I said, it's been a while and so much has happened, I don't really. So we moved back to Chattanooga, or when I say we, I mean me, just me. I moved back to Chattanooga and finished my middle school career there at, once again, I'm not gonna dox where I went, but this time it was an all black school. So I'm used to the whole, I'm the only black kid in the school and it's mostly suburban rich kids, to now I've moved over to a more, well, this school in particular, I could say this, more ratchet or kind of like ghetto kind of school, where it's gotten so much worse over the years, but when I was going it was kind of okay. So yeah, so me being the only white black kid at an all black dominant school with a few Hispanics in there too, it was a complete different culture shift. Like, it was crazy. Never got bullied or whatever because I was a very nice person. I was more of a social butterfly, so, and I still am kind of to this day, but I'm a little bit more introverted. I could do both, really. So we moved down to Chattanooga, boom, finished my middle school career there and went to high school in Chattanooga. Now this was pre-2020, so we're in like 2018, 2019 right now. 2018, 2019, I think I'm around the ages of 13, 14. I can't remember. It had to be like 14, 15, I think. 14, 15, and I'm doing high school. Now, I was doing high school at the same school that I did middle school at, but it was just across the street. So if you guys know a Chattanooga school where the middle school is like right across the street from the, yeah, you feel me, the high school, then you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna say what it is. So boom, I'm at this high school. I meet a girl, chop it up. I ain't trying to dox her either, but that was my first relationship, you feel me? And that actually took a lot of my, like, what's the word for it? Academic stress. And it kind of, you feel me? So basically I started failing all my classes. Now, if I got advice for you little kids, it would be don't get in a relationship in high school if you're trying to see yourself somewhere in the future, because you probably gonna mess up, gang. I'm not gonna lie, you're not used to the whole workload that you're gonna get from high school. So when you go into high school in a relationship, it's kind of like you set yourself up for failure. So my first girl, we talked for a bit, it didn't make it a year, and then at the end of the year, I think it was Valentine's Day, I broke up with her because I didn't want to buy her a gift, and also I was kind of like, she was moving a little too quick, you feel me? So I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. So I broke up with her. Then literally, I think a week later, I got with this other girl. Now, I'm gonna make that into a separate story time if y'all wanna hear that, cause that's a long story. That's a long story and I can get in depth with that one, but yeah, so that was the relationship that I was like, bruh. I don't know what to say, but anyways, I got in a relationship with her, bada boom. My grades took a total L. Like my English, I think I got an F. My math, I think I got a D. And this was my freshman year, so yeah, I got an F in English, a D in math, and I think social studies was an A because I had a great teacher. I still know his name to this day. But boom, we're at 7 minutes already and I haven't even finished half the story. Dang, I'm getting into it already. But let's basically say this first year was me just testing out the waters with high school, as you should. It's your freshman year, you should kind of feel around a bit. And I was new to the area, or new to that school, so I had to try it out. So at the end of that year, I was playing sports and I was well known as a sports player. So I was playing soccer, football, baseball, running track. I was doing all these different sports, and around this time, a private school in the area actually hit me up where I got a scholarship to go to a private school. Now, if you guys remember, I was in a relationship with this one girl at this school, so I didn't really want to leave. This private school was all boys. If y'all know that school, I'm gonna let y'all put that together, but I'm not gonna leak it. So I went to their summer program. I kind of enjoyed it. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And they basically gave me the option. They were like, hey, after the summer, if you like it, you can stay. So I was like, I was like, I like it. They got an indoor pool. We got a buffet. We got all this stuff. We got nice curriculums. We get to learn a language. And then I was like, I get to live on the dorms and everything. But my baby girl, you feel me? I was like, I don't want to be in an all-dudes school either, because I was scared of getting bullied at the time, as well as I don't swing that way. So I couldn't see myself living on a campus with all dudes at the time for the next 3 years of my life. 3 years of my life. So I was saying to myself, yeah, I can't. And they were trying to give me a scholarship to play lacrosse and football at their school. Lacrosse is a sport I never really got to play, but I loved it. I wish I had done it, but if I was looking back at it like I am now, I probably still wouldn't have taken the opportunity. So boom, we're back to second year. I am now a sophomore in high school. You know, things going great. Me and my girl was talking over the summer, you know, meeting, doing our thing, you feel me? Boom, sophomore year comes around. School is going normal. This is when I started locking in on sports, and I started locking in on my whole, like, academic, academic prowess, I guess. So this is when I started locking in on academic stuff. Boom, I get all B's and C's, you know, my grades are going up. At this time, my mom is on my head top about grades, so I'm taking the whole summer to lock in. The year before, so freshman year, I'm taking the whole summer to lock in. I'm trying to get my grades up, boom, boom, boom. I boosted up some of my grades, cool. Get into sophomore year, and now I'm like headstrong, I'm in there. This is also when me and my girl was getting closer, so like I said, I don't want to get too deep into that, but boom, COVID hit, and that was halfway through the year. I remember them saying they were getting like a week off of school, and we were hyped. I was at soccer practice with my girl, actually. We played on the same team, and I remember saying like, oh yo, we gonna be chilling, we outside, you know, summer part 2 type, yeah, baby. No. So this was what I'm gonna call the chapter in my life, the Great Depression, cause buddy, it was bad. So this was around the time that I didn't get to see any of my friends. I had 2 friends, which was my girlfriend and another one of my close friends that I talk to actually sometimes on Snapchat. He knows who he is if he's watching this video. He's a cool dude. So boom, we can't meet anymore, so I now don't get to talk to my friends. School is kind of out, but it's kind of in, and I'm with my dad still, so I was a little depressed, I'm not gonna lie. Later down, I'll say like the next year, so junior year, it got bad. That's when school was like horrible for me, bro. Like genuinely, like the end of sophomore year to like the beginning of junior, or right before the beginning of junior, it was bad. So when I was going through this like depression phase, I couldn't do it anymore. I genuinely lost my girlfriend at this time. I lost my friend group, so it was just me at the end of sophomore year. So within that transfer from sophomore to junior, I moved in with my mom. Now at this time we moved to Murfreesboro, and this was a new school, so I'm used to moving school to school to school to school to school. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine and dandy. So we go to Murfreesboro. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go about the scene. And at this time, I'm a little bit more hood. Let me say it like that. I'm not like ghetto, but I'm a little bit more like, I got that. I've been in a school where like drugs are moving kind of. So like I'm used to the whole like knuck if you buck kind of thing. So when I go to this Murfreesboro school, you know, the mask mandate was still a thing, but little did they know, I've been wearing masks 2 years before then. So it was a fashion trend to me because I used to watch Japanese animes, and a lot of the people in Japan used to wear masks. So I wanted to be like them, and I used to wear disposable masks before the pandemic, but that's neither here or there. Go back to the story. I had to go on a little tangent there. Boom, we go to school. I start making some friends, kinda, you know, it goes all right. Junior year, I start locking in on my grades, because around this time I didn't know if I wanted to go to college or not. Junior year, I think I got B, like a high B. And that was in an honors class that I was taking. So boom, my grade point average is looking like a cool 3.8, cool 3 point something, you feel me? So we chilling, and unweighted, I think I had a 4.0 in just that year, which was perfect. Senior year comes around. This is when all hats was off. This is when I really locked in. So around this time, I went ahead and I took a freshman class. Now, as a senior, taking a freshman class is literal, I don't know what you're doing with your life, buddy, but me, I was locking in. So we went ahead, got me into that freshman class, and I took all honors classes. So this is another very staple moment in my life that I'm gonna get very deep into. So I took freshman class, boom, passed A. Now that leveled out my F that I had gotten that I told you guys about. And the math, remember I said that I got a low score on math? Remember when I was saying that summer my mom was on me? I got a B in that class now. So I took math class for that over the summer, got that to a B. And now my English is to an A, so my grades are looking okay. Like I had one D, so it was bringing my GPA down. So I think I finished with like a 3.2 or something. I think a 3.2, like all around the board. And that's because my junior and senior year were so strong, but like unweighted, I think I had like a cool 4.0 because I had so many honors and advanced honor classes. So we're gonna skip over a lot of what happened senior year because there was a lot of like weird beef and like weird stuff. Like I said, if you guys want like more in-depth story on this, I'm more than happy to get y'all to that because I love yapping. Y'all already know this. So we're gonna hop over all the controversial and like all the weird miscellaneous things that happened. Basically, I had this singular teacher, right? Well, first, here it is. So senior year, obviously you guys know once it's your senior year of high school, you need to know what you want to do after high school. So me personally being an indecisive person, and I am very indecisive to this day, I'm not gonna lie. And when I say indecisive, I mean like when it comes to big decisions, I will think and think and think and think and think and think and think. I'm an overthinker, so hard decisions are very hard for me to make because I'm gonna settle on it 1 second and then I'm gonna think of like the con, or I'm gonna think some more about it, because I'm always constantly thinking until I make the decision. So that's a good and a bad thing, but whatever. For the people around me, apparently it's bad. But boom, I had this teacher that I used to have first period with, or I remember, I don't want to say the teacher's name, but I had a teacher that was my first period class for driver's ed, and he was like, hey, you need to find a first period teacher because we're doing driving lessons now, so you need a holding class. I was like, okay, cool. I went to one of my teachers, they were like, nah, my class is full. I was like, all right, cool. So I went to my first favorite teacher. I didn't think he was gonna say yes at first, so that's why I went to my second one. Went to my favorite teacher. He was like, yeah, sure, I don't really have a class, but you're more than welcome to sit in this class. Now, at this time, remember, I'm fresh out of Chattanooga. I was more on my like city girl kind of feeling. I was messing with girls a lot. I was not studying. I was just running it up. I was an athlete. I had that mentality, if you can only imagine. I never read books. I never studied. I just played video games, worked out during sports season, and talked to girls and went out. That was about it. So I didn't have any thoughts of becoming like an entrepreneur or anything at this time. I mean, I knew I wanted to have money, but I didn't think of entrepreneurship. When I moved into the classroom with this teacher in particular, I've always said this. I was like, once I make it, I'm being so for real, I might buy this guy a house, like a car or something. I gotta get him something, because he was the one that changed my whole life in a 360. He really opened my eyes for real. So to start it off, I moved into his class and he basically gave me a book. He was like, hey, you're in my class a lot. Do you ever read? And I was like, no, I don't like reading. Reading's not my thing, And at the time I was just playing video games on my phone and watching YouTube videos, like on stupid crap, like Mr. Beast videos and gaming videos and stuff like that. So he was like, hey, do you ever read, or do you ever, and I was really good at reading. I was really good at doing essays and all that. English was my strongest class. So I said no. He said, here, I want you to read this book. Now I can't quite remember the name of this book, but I think it was called The Game by some black guy. I don't remember the name. But I remember reading that book, and every single day I went into this class, I made it a mission to read the entire time. So I put my headphones in and I'd read for an hour long. Now, this went on for about a month, less than a month really, it was like 2 weeks, and I finished the entire book, which was shocking to me because I've never really read like that. So I finished the book, I gave it to him, I gave him notes that I had taken on the book and everything, and he gave me another book, and I read that book. And then we would have some deep conversations in the morning where we would talk about what I had planned on doing. So in the future, remember, I didn't plan on going to college or none of that. My parents wanted me to go to college, so I was like, okay, to make them happy, I'm gonna go to college, and I was gonna go to be a computer engineer. So on my way to become a computer engineer, I would tell them about this. I was like, hey, I want to make money now, after reading the book, of course. I was like, hey, I want to make money through real estate. And I was thinking about, what I want to do during college too. And he was telling me, he was like, bro, I think you're way too smart for college. I was like, what does that even mean?
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what?
You ain't got.
I was saying, all right, cool. So what do you recommend me do? He said, I recommend you get a real estate license. Take up a real estate approach. You'll make a lot of money off of it. Go under a broker or an agency and learn the game. At the time, I was like, bro, that sounds mad difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. So he gave me some advice on some millionaires that he knew or whatever. Because I remember in class saying one day, if I could find a millionaire, I would literally work under them for free. And he said, that's a great mindset. Matter of fact, I've got a millionaire for you. I said, wait, what? In the next class session, he gave me the phone number of this one real estate millionaire that was in my area. So I went to this man, or I called this man. I remember I was so scared to call him, but I remember typing it in my phone and just sitting there looking at my screen, I was like, oh my God. I was like, what if he says no? And I just remember instinctively clicking the button super quick, and it started ringing, and I was like, now I can't hang up, so now I have to listen to it. So I remember writing out a whole script, just what I was gonna say, and I went completely off script. The first 20 seconds, I went completely off script. This guy was so polite, and that completely shifted the way I thought. Cause for the longest time, I was raised in low middle class to middle class housing. So when I think about rich people, I used to think of snobs and douchebags and people that would be like, I don't have the time for this, and would hang up. So when he answered, he was like, hello? I said, good afternoon, sir. This is da 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 da. I'm calling, I'm a student of da 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 da. And he said that da 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 da. He said, oh yeah, da da da. Yeah, I know that guy. So what's up, man? How can I help you? I said, hi, I was looking to have a meeting with you, if I could speak with you and ask you a few questions, if that'd be okay. I was wanting to, maybe learn something. And he was like, oh, that's phenomenal. How old are you? And I said, I'm 17, sir. He said, oh, that's perfect. He said, so I'm free on this day. Meet me at this time. And I said, sir, I have school on that day. And he was like, okay, just let me know a day that you're free. Now, I remember this very vividly. I woke up that morning that he said to meet him, and I ended up going in the morning. So I skipped out on school in the beginning of it, because at this time I had found this to be way more important than going to school for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's I'm cool. So I went, had a meeting with this man. He showed me around real estate. He let me know how it is. And then another surprise mentor or millionaire came in at the time, and I had a meeting with both of them at the same time for an hour straight. No notes, no nothing. I remember wearing my Lacoste shirt. I had dreads at the time, so I was wearing a visor, a gray visor, and I was wearing some khakis, and I was just like soaking the information in. And that moment really changed my life on the way that I looked at things. Because for the longest time, I thought for you to get money, you had to work some type of job to where you would get it. And I remember at this time, I didn't know Quan. I didn't know none of them vloggers. I didn't even know vlogging existed, dude, if I'm being completely for real. I've seen it before, but I didn't really think it was a thing, if that makes sense. Skip a few. I'm in college now. I'm out of high school. I graduated, and I got a few scholarships to go to college. This is my college era. Boom. So going into college, I went for a week, and I was like, this is the most miserable I think I've ever been in my life. And I'm not even trying to cap. Like, I'm not lying or nothing. Got into college, it was so bad. At first, I was like, I went in there with an open mind, of course. I was like, oh, I love it. It looks so cool. And I was very excited to make my transfer 2 years later to a new college that I wanted to go to. But I was like, yeah, this is cool. We did all the paperwork. We signed everything. We already got enrolled. I got accepted. Boom. So I ended up going to, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. Motlow University, which is in Murfreesboro, or it might be close to Nashville. I went there for a bit and I didn't make it 2 weeks. The second week, the reason I quit, there was 3 reasons I quit. First reason, I had a 5-page essay due that I had only finished 1 page of with a new curriculum that I didn't know anything about. 2, I'll save the best one for last. 2, I had a speech later that day and a test later that same day that I was not prepared for, and I had 4 assignments that I was already behind on. So I was like, I can't. I would have to grind it out for a day, and this is the first week, the first ever week that we're doing assignments. And then my English teacher, the same day that we learned the curriculum of how to make your essays, and remember, I was strong as crap in essays. I love this stuff. I love making, like personalized essays. That's my favorite thing to do. I can write an essay in like 10 minutes and it'd be flawless. This was something I prided myself on. So I remember asking, are we allowed to add like anything in specific? Like, can I like talk more about me and thing? She said, word for word, and I've said this before, they don't care about who you are as a person. Or she said, they don't want to hear about like you as a person. They just care that you can follow the curriculum and the rules. I don't remember exactly how she said it, but that's basically what she said. And I'm not saying that's basically what she said, like generally. That's quite literally almost word for word what she said. They don't care about you as a person. They care about how you can perform. And that instantly like snapped me back into reality of, oh my God, my 9-to-5 life is literally going to be, they don't care about me as a person. They just care that I can turn a machine. I can do this. I can move a box from A to B. And that's genuinely terrifying to me. So right then and there, I remember that class finished, or that was near the end of the class, but the class finished and I walked out of the class and went downstairs and then went to my car, got on a phone call with my cousin, and I was like, bro, how are you holding up? He was like, I'm doing all right, yeah. I had already told him before, I was like, dude, I don't think I can do this. And he was like, yeah, man, you just gotta thug it out. He's still in college, but I was like, I don't think I can do this, man. I was like, I got computer engineering. Like, it gets worse from here. And this is the second week and I can't. Like, it's not for me. He was like, oh, man. He was like, what are your parents gonna think, though? And that was the real, like, kicker right there. I didn't really want to tell my parents because I was like, oh, crap. They wanted me to go to college for all these years, and I was just gonna, like, walk up and say, yeah, I dropped out. Like, how would that have looked on me is what I was thinking the whole time. So I went to the main building, went to the front counter, and I was like, at this time, I was already doing day trading in stocks because, once again, my teacher from high school he was into stocks and like Bitcoins and stuff. I'm not into Bitcoin, but he was into stocks, and it kind of opened my eyes for it. I thought it was gambling. So he gave us a project that was basically, we had a group of 3 people and we got to trade stocks, and I got to see how it kind of worked. And at the time, like I said, I thought it was gambling. So when I learned that you can like actually buy something and hold it as long as you want and do this, I was like, it's just calculated gambling. It's like calculated gambling. So I was like, hey, I'm all for it, man. So he got me into stocks, and that's where I got my day trading stuff from, and my real estate that I'm later gonna get into. But I remember going to the front counter of the front desk, and they were saying, hey, how can I help you? This was the last day to get out of college, because if you didn't do it after this, you would have to wait till the next semester to get out. So I went to the front desk and I was like, hey, I would like to drop out. They both looked at me like I was crazy. They said, why would you want to do that? I said, I've just been doing my own thing recently and I just want to get out. I want to get out. I heard this was the last day. and I don't want to make a mistake that I'm gonna regret. So they said, okay, cool, but you know you have a lot of accelerated classes that you're in, you know, like your math is accelerated and this is accelerated, and these are very hard classes to get into, and you're gonna lose your scholarships. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, yeah, I just want to unenroll from all my classes. I don't want no weird, like, you feel me? And at this time I was trying to transfer to a different college, but they didn't accept me and a whole lot of weird stuff. But like I said, I'm not getting into that until the next video. But I remember taking that 30 to 45 minute drive home and thinking to myself, or I had called my sister and I was like, hey, I just dropped out. And we had a whole conversation on that, and I was like, yeah, I know, yeah. And then the worst part was getting home, because once I got home after that 30-40 minute drive of being in my head, I was like, nah, I gotta talk to my mom and my dad. I was like, I was like, I was like, it's all over. I'm getting kicked out the crib, bro. It's done, bro. So once I got home, I was like, or no, I remember my mom saying, so why are you home so early? Yo, I was cooked, bro. The second I walked in that house, I knew I was cooked. So I was like, well, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you for a second. So basically, I had to have a conversation saying why I dropped out, why I believed it was the best move to drop out. And yeah, so you guys can only imagine how that conversation went. It was great. 10 out of 10 would try again. No, I would not. I really would not. But I kind of saw that as my first like business proposal officially, like my first official business proposal, where if you guys have never had a business proposal before, it's where you walk into a group of people, where you walk into a room of investors and you basically say, hey, I think my business is better for your guys' business than what you guys got going on right now. And they basically look at you like you're just like off a bean, and you've got to explain to it, or you've got to explain to them why you're the guy for the job. So it kind of felt like that. It was my first official, non-official business proposal. And after that, I remember for like 6 months, I was just grinding. And this was on YouTube when I was making my journals. And like I said, if you guys go on my OnlyFans, you can see this in real time play out. Every single day I made a journal. I was like, I wrote a routine on my board. I want to get a whiteboard, and I'm going to get one soon to fill up this place here so I can write and draw in there and you guys can see what I'm talking about. But step one was wake up every day, do stretches, take vitamins, don't eat. So I was going through a fast, then I was going to work out, and then I would go home and eat, and then I would study for 2 hours, and then after that I'd go down, and then I'd work on my store for 2 hours, then I'd make a 10-minute video, and then I'd do this. I had a strict schedule that I stuck to for like 6 months. It was crazy. Then cut my dreads off. Boom. Then I started day trading and taking YouTube super serious. Or I can't say I'm taking the YouTube super duper serious. I mean, I'm taking it pretty serious though. So now we're here. I don't really know what else to say. We're here. So moral of the story here today. This was like the longest yap session that I've posted in a while. Obviously, I'm down to post a longer one, but I love making videos like this. I would say cue to sad music, but we ain't even gotta do that. Cue to sad music. So, if there's something in life that you want to do, by any means, make it possible. Because the longer you wait, the less likely that opportunity will still be there waiting for you. If you want to drop out of college, or you want to start that YouTube video, whatever you want to start in life, take that first step. I'm telling you now, that's the hardest step to take. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The second you think of making something happen, make it happen. Do it for your future self. I can only imagine where I'd be at currently if I did not take that one step that was terrifying me. I spent 2 weeks procrastinating because of how scared I was that everybody else was going to look at me like, oh, he's a bum, he ain't got no da. I knew what I was capable of, but I was scared to show everybody else, or scared to take that risk and the chance that it might fail. So, like I said, I can only imagine where I'd be at today. Hey man, that's all I gotta say for today. Horrible yap session. Horrible yap session at 34 minutes. My retention rate's about to be buns. But, hey, I love you guys. And I will check you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Fuck a pigeonhole. I'm a night owl. It's a different mode. I'ma have to make a paint of 6 on a pinky toe. Heard you with a shooting guard. Just let a nigga know. I would have you courtside, not the middle row.